Hi guys, Mehrnoush here from Ross IELTS Academy. I'm here today to talk to you about the latest IELTS speaking questions, the last week's. It is always a good idea to practice different questions and topics before the test. However, you don't need to worry. When we talk to our candidates, many of them tell us that their main concern in speaking is that they don't have a very wide range of vocabulary. Tell you what, it's fine. Not everyone has got the vocabulary to talk about all the familiar and unfamiliar topics. Besides, there is no need to have information about everything so that you can answer all the questions. You need strategies. Okay guys, what we want to do today is to take a look at some of the latest IELTS speaking questions part by part, and I will give you my answers to them. Then I will explain why I gave those answers, analyzing them based on IELTS criteria. Okay, let's get started. Okay, in this video I want to show you a cue card in the second part of IELTS exam, one of the latest ones. Let's see what it is. It says, describes a time when you had to wait for something. You should say what you were waiting for, what happened, what you did while waiting, and explain how you felt while waiting. Now, what I want you to do is to take 1 minute to think of your own answer to this cue card. You can take notes, you can think of what you want to say, and then you should come back to me so that I can give you my own answer, then analyzing it based on IELTS criteria. So, take your time. Did you think of your answer? Did you cover all the bullet points? Now, let's take a look at mine. Well, having to wait is a common situation in our today's life as we manage different tasks at the same time, and sometimes we have to wait for the result. If my memory helps, it was about 4 years ago when I had applied to a university abroad, and I was looking forward to a response from the university. Although I knew that there was a very high chance to get the admission, I was worried sick and I couldn't be more patient. I remember that I used to check my email every half an hour just to see an answer from the university staff in my inbox. To distract myself, I would either listen to music or spend time with my sister, as she could exactly understand what I was going through and knew great ways to make me not think about the result. Eventually, the day arrived and I realized that not only I had been given the admission, but also they awarded me a full scholarship for the second year of my studies. I was over the moon when I read the email including such wonderful information, and I think this result was worth waiting for. So as you can see, I tried to talk for the 2 minutes. It also depends on your pace, if you speak slowly or if you speak quickly. And the second important thing in the second part is to talk about all the bullet points. You shouldn't be like only talking about 2 or 3 and then you find yourself in a situation that a time is over and you haven't covered 1 or 2 other bullet points, the remaining ones. So make sure to talk about all of them. The first one was asking me to talk about what I was waiting for. So I said I was waiting for the result of the admission from the university. The second one was, okay, what happened? And then I explained more about what happened. What you did while waiting, and I just mentioned some activities like listening to music or spending time with my sister. And finally, how I felt while waiting. Well, when I was waiting, I was worried sick. I was really stressed. This was my feeling. And of course, when you cover the bullet points and you see that you still have got more time and the examiner is still looking at you, then you have to just add extra information in order to cover the 2 minutes. And that's why I just said some more things about when I got the result and how I felt then, so you can just do the same thing. Now we take another look at my answer because I want to analyze it based on what I have used in it. There are different colors here. The ones that the words or the phrases which are marked in red are the collocations or the vocabulary I have tried to use. For example, the first one is common situation. It means something that happens to many people. Applying to a university. There was a very high chance to get the admission. So when there is a high chance that something happens or to something. To be worried sick. It means to be very stressed and anxious. Going through something. It means to be in a situation. The day arrived. Awarded me a full scholarship. So when you are awarded a scholarship, when they give you a scholarship, it means that they give you the money, give you the fund in order to study in a university abroad. And the last one, you can also use idiomatic language, like I was over the moon. It means I was thrilled. I was very, very happy. Now we take a look at the phrases marked in purple. These are the fillers, boosters, and of course discourse markers. You can use them to start your answer in order to buy yourself some time and think of what you actually want to say. Or when in the middle of your answer, you run out of ideas, you can use them to come up with the next one, and then you keep talking. For example, I used well to start my answer. The next one, if my memory helps. So when you want to talk about your past experiences, you can use this one. If my memory helps. The next one is, I remember that. Again, when you want to talk about your past experiences, I remember that, and then you keep talking. The next thing we can look at is the connectives and conjunctions I have tried to use. For example, the first one here is although. I used it because I wanted to show a contrast. The next one, you can use either or when you want to talk about two things, either listening to music or spending time with my sister. As is the next one, which is a very good alternative for the word because. Eventually. So I want to talk about the order of the events, so I use the word eventually, which means finally. You can say, for example, first, then, after that, next, finally, eventually. Not only, but also, when I want to talk about two things. So it is always a very good idea to use some advanced connectives. I mean, you shouldn't only use and, so, but, because if you want to get more than 5 or 6 in your fluency and coherence in IELTS speaking. So what I did was to talk about all the bullet points, and I just tried to use some collocations, idiomatic language, connectives, fillers, and boosters to give my answer. If this topic maybe is unfamiliar to you or you have nothing to say about it, doesn't matter. You can just make something up. I mean, you can fake your answer. For example, this has never happened to you, or you don't remember the time when you had to wait for something, but you remember the time when your sister had to wait for something. So you can talk about her experience as your experience. Just fake your answer. As long as your answer is related to the question, you're good to go. Very well, guys. Just like what we did today, you can look for speaking questions, give your own answers to them, record yourself, and then analyze your answers. If you want to be evaluated by us, book an online speaking mock test with our examiners. It will make a big difference, trust me. In the next videos, we will work on the next parts. I wish you best of luck and see you very soon.